Hey, welcome back, y'all. I hope you're doing well. I'm Jayme Lewis, and today we're going to be checking out this POG2 pedal from Electro-Harmonix, and I'm not going to lie, the only thing that I care about is what does it sound like. It's your worries, Now, before we get too far into this, I just want to say a big thank you to Zounds for loaning me this pedal. So if you like what you hear today, just click on that link that's in the description and you can go get one for yourself. And I'll be upfront with you. Yes, I get a small commission out of it. So thank you so much for supporting this channel. Right. So let's start by checking out how accurately the POG2 tracks on a pop tune with a pretty busy bass line. I'm going to combine 4 octaves. That'll be 2 below the dry signal and then 1 above, along with the low pass filter to see if I can't get something that sounds really smooth, but also with enough mid-range to pop out of the mix. Now let's see what it sounds like when we put that back into the context of a full production pop mix.
You dancing like your last shows. We love to see how you move. Come on, yeah, we're loving it. Come on, yeah, we're loving it. What matters is who you are, not like the bills or your car. Cause there's only one you. Cause there's only one you. See you rocking the soul, blood shaking, good time quaking. Just let your worries slip into a slurry. There's no hurry, 'cause we got the party right here.
All right, next let's try rock music and let's see how well the POG2 plays with other effect pedals. All right, this next song is called Crucified, and we filmed this at a show that I did back in 2019 while I was on tour with Shim. Now, whenever we played this show live, I always used an octaver and overdrive, so I figured we'd do the same exact thing. I reamped my dry signal from that show into the POG2, and then I crushed it with my Source Audio Aftershock Distortion. Let's see what that sounds like. And of course, let's bring in the rest of the band and see how the POG2 sits with the rest of the mix.
Baby, 'cause now that I've been crucified, buried in my past alive, give me your best shot, once you die. I hope you said your goodbyes, going off the rails this time, never getting off this ride, strung on a wire, burning the fire, come on. And I'm still alive.
All right, now here's something that I really wasn't expecting from an octave pedal, and it's this attack slider right here, which I'm going to apply to all of the octaves and the dry signal to create sort of a side chain effect. So let's take a listen to this over a pop chorus where the bass is bouncing just behind those upbeats, and we're going to try to create that womp, womp, womp kind of sound. Before you write this off as undesirable or even unusable, take a listen to the POG in context of a full production pop chorus that would normally require some pretty unique engineering tricks to achieve this sound. Okay, here's another pop track that features the POG2 being played on my Torillo 5-string tenor bass. And it's going to sound somewhat similar to the first example that we listened to back at the beginning of this video, except that we're going to dial in some detuning along with that delayed attack that we just heard in the last example. And we're going to see if we can't get this groove to sit behind the beat a little bit on a bass line that's already pretty forward-leaning. All right, let's take this sound and add it to the rest of the mix and see if we can't get the track to feel a little bit more laid back. Okay, this last song was filmed at Summerfest 2019 back when I was playing with Jayme, and the whole purpose of this part of the song is just mayhem and destruction. So let's see if we can't turn the POG2 into a noise machine to create those explosive, like I'm talking Autobot versus Decepticon, Michael Bay trailer, screaming engines kind of dubstep sounds. Of course, let's bring in the rest of the band and see just how nasty it gets. So that's what the POG2 sounds like. Thanks again to Zounds for loaning me this pedal. And if you want to get one for yourself or any of the gear that I use in this video, just click on those links in the description. By the way, all of the music that you've heard today is available at thebassist.net and on Patreon, along with tabs, backing tracks, hundreds of bass lessons, and premium content like behind the scenes videos, live concert performances, every episode of the Bassist podcast.
I would just say, for people like Billy Sheehan and Victor Wooten, God bless those guys.
Original music, merch discounts, and much more. And if you want to know my opinion about the POG2, how I think it stacks up against other Octaver pedals, and whether or not I think that you should have one on your pedal board, then just check out my deep dive videos on Patreon, where I share my professional opinions about all of the gear that I review here on this channel. So thanks again for stopping by, stay well, and we'll see you again next time.